Hi there, this is Vahid from the Education channel, and today we're going to learn how to create a collection of custom widgets. Before this session, we created a couple of single widgets and added to QTcreator environment. And today we're going to create a collection of custom widgets. Instead of creating them one by one, we can create a collection of plugins for custom widgets. And this will be done using QTcreator wizard very easily. Most of the time, we need to specify some ranges in our application. For example, floating point ranges, integer ranges, and also sometimes we need to alphabetic ranges. For this purpose, we need to design something like this. Add a label on a form, put two double spin box or some spin boxes or two combo boxes that's separated with a dash. That is remind the user it's a range and you should specify a range. And also you need to be careful about applying settings to both of these widgets. For example, minimum and maximum, or you need to do validation things manually. But when we create these custom widgets in this session, you're able to add these widgets on your form as a single widget. You can specify label, minimum and maximum, and also you can set the validation options to be enabled. So if the from value or the starting value is greater than the destination value or the to value, the background for this widget change to red. Or you can also disable it. It's not important. And also, we're going to learn how to add task menu or context menu for this widget at design time. Most of the time, you see for standard widgets, we're able to right-click on them at the QTcreator, and then some options are provided for us, so we can, for example, change the value directly or reset the widgets. And to do this, we need to do a couple of things, create some classes that inherit from some other classes, and we will see it very soon. If you are not familiar with the basic concept of creating plugins and custom widgets for QTcreator, I recommend to see previous session in this playlist and then come back and continue on this session. To creating a custom widget and also plugin for that, we need to do a couple of things. This process is just for one single plugin. We should create a class inherit from QDesignerCustomWidgetInterface and also add these macros inside that class. And also we need to implement some virtual functions. These virtual functions are going to provide information about the custom widget for QTcreator, such as the name and also the widget itself. What should QTcreator instantiate from when we drag and drop it on the form? Which category should QTcreator put this widget in, and the DOM XML and some other stuff that we just checked in previous sessions. And here, if you want to create a collection of custom widgets, you need to do one more step. Here we need to create a class that inherits from QDesignerCustomWidgetCollectionInterface class. And also in this class, we need to use these two macros and provide the name of this class again for this QInterface macros. And also we need to implement this pure visual function, custom widgets. And this function or this method will return a list of custom widget plugins. The plugins that we created just in this slide will be returned using these methods. And when QTcreator see or realize that we have an instance of QDesignerCustomWidgetCollectionInterface, it will call this method automatically and get back all those plugins as a list and show them inside the QTcreator standard widget box. And the last thing we're going to cover in this session is to create task menu for our custom widgets. Task menu are considered as some extension for widgets inside QTcreator environment. So Qt provides a way that we can manage these extension things. First of all, we need to create a class that inherits from QDesigner task menu extension. And inside this class, we need to override or implement task action and preferred actions. By using these two options, we're going to provide the actions or QActions instances that we want to add to the context menu for a custom widget at design time. And also you need to implement or use these macros inside this class. And in addition to that, we need to again create another class inherit from QExtension factory. This is somehow like the factory design pattern that you'd use to generate or to create some extension for our custom widgets. And inside that, we're going to implement a pure function named create extension. And here, we're going to create an instance of this class and return it for qtcreator. And also, we need to do one more step inside the plugins in initialize method. So don't worry, I will check it very soon for you, and you will see that it's nothing, it's just a little bit names. And if you just know how to implement that, it's very easy to add context menu to your custom widgets. And also, I'm gonna show you how to apply those changes to your custom widgets using another class. And that's very also tricky, so you should know about it to do applying changes to your custom widgets successfully. So let's go and see a demo, and then we go to qtcreator and start creating this collection of widgets from scratch. Okay, let's see what we are going to create at the end of this session. Here we are creating a collection of custom widgets for range selecting things. I created 3 of them: integer range selector, float range selector, and alpha range selector. If you just drag and drop one item on the form, you can see it. There are 2 spin boxes joined together with a label and also a dash that reminds the user it's a range selecting things. So you're able to set some properties using property window, minimum and maximums for each of these spin boxes, from and to all the values for this spin box and also this one. And you can change the caption. For example, I want to change it to range. What is the valid age? Age. What is the valid age for this application, for example? It will be from 15 to 120. And from and to both change to the minimum because we changed it and we don't have any 0 available for this things. And also, we have one option named validation. If we check the validation and we enter some value from that is greater than the 2, then the background will be changed to red. Okay, and if you unchecked it, so we don't check for value that from should be less than or equal to 2. And that's it. And also you can change the button symbol. Sometimes you just need to have some boxes to enter some integer values, and you don't need to have these arrows here. So you can just change it as with the spin boxes. And if you change it, so the arrow is gone, or you can change it to plus or minus, anything that you want. So this is it. And also, if you just right click on the widget, you can select reset widget. If you select this one, all the things or all the changes that you applied set back to one when you add the widget on the form. And also we have the same thing for float range selector. And we have again the caption, minimum, maximum, from and to. And here we have precision. It's the number of decimal digits that we can have after the decimal point. So we can change it, for example, to 4-digit numbers. And for alpha range, sometimes we need to specify some ranges based on some alphabetic things. For example, from A to C. Here we have a list of items that we can load automatically inside these combo boxes. Right now, I just entered all alphabetic characters. Oh, I forgot to add Z. I should modify it. And also, you can change from and to index. For example, I'm just going to increment it, so you can see right now from is D to A. So it's not valid. And if we check the validation, the background changed. If I unchecked it, so we don't check for the indexes validation. And also you can change the content based whatever you are thinking about, or these things are applied to your business inside your application. For example, you can enter some ranges, some static ranges. I'm just going to add, for example, 10, 20, 20, 13, 30, 40, and 50. So, and change the label to age. And if I run the application, you're able to choose a range for the age. For example, this application is for age from 10 to 40. Yeah, that's the way that you can handle this situation. So these are the range selectors, and in the next session, because I think this will be a lengthy video, I'm just going to show you how you can add a dialog to manipulate the state of this widget inside a dialog, just like we have for table widgets. For example, if I put a table widget on the form and if you double click on it, another window will be appear, and you can add a couple of things inside this window or modify the current state of the widget inside this window. And we will do it in next session, I think, because this video might be very lengthy. Okay, let's go to QTcreator and start developing this collection of custom widgets in practice. Okay, let's go to QTcreator and create a collection of custom widgets for QTcreator. For this purpose, in new project dialog, we need to go to other project template and choose Qt Custom Designer Widgets. Okay, here I'm gonna select the new name for this project. I'm gonna choose a vRangeSelector project. Or I can choose plural one, vRangeSelectors project. In the next window, I'm going to choose an appropriate compiler. This compiler is somehow related to the compiler that currently QTcreator is compiled with or based on. So you can check for this one here in the help menu about QTcreator. And as you can see, this version of QTcreator is based on Qt version 6.0.2. So I should choose this one. Now, here in this window or dialog, in previous sessions, we just create one plugin or one custom widget. Here, I want to add two more. So here we have three different custom widgets. For the first, I'm going to choose vInteger selector, range selector. Let's complete the name, range selector. Let's add the other one also. vFloat range selector, vAlpha range selector. So I just created three different custom widgets, and I'm gonna change some naming things here. So I want to change them to this notation. This is much readable for me. And also for this one, I'm gonna use this name. And in this session, I provide some icons for this custom widgets. I put them inside pictures. So this is for integer. And for description, let's add it also to vref education widgets. And also for tooltips, this is a widget that helps you choose an integer range. And for what's this? I don't want this one. Okay, this is just okay. And also here for DOM XML, because I just named the widget in this way, you should change the naming things for QTcreator, because these are the same. And if we want to add it to the QTcreator at design time, some compile problem or issues will be occurred. So I'm going to change it to integer or something like this. v_integer range selector. That's it. Let's do the same for the next one, vFloat range selector. And also for this one, I'm going to change the plugin name. And also I will choose the float as the PNG. And this one also goes to vref education widgets. These widgets will let you select a floating point range. And also for this one, I'm going to add underscore between v and float range selector. And for the next one also, change the name. Oh, I forgot to change this one, I think. Yeah. Okay. And change the naming for this one. And also choose an icon, alpha, for this purpose. vref education widgets. This widget will let you select an alpha alphabetic range. This is it, and here again for this one I'm going to use underscore between v and alpha to prevent some compile time issues. So this is it. I just want these three custom widgets inside my new collection. And for the next, here we need to define a name for our collection class. So let's see what I have. Let's select this one. I'm gonna choose vSelectors collection. Okay. Here, in addition to those plugin classes, I just create another class that is a collection class, and this class contains all the instances of plugins that we already created, and then it returned it to QTcreator, so QTcreator will be able to load all those custom widgets at one time, at the same time. So let's change also the naming things, and for the plugin name, let's choose this one and add plugin here. And for icon, this name is just good, I think, icons.qrc, and then nothing else. So the project created. Let's just check the project structure. Here we have three inner projects, as we had before for just single custom widgets. We have three different widgets: v alpha range, v float range, v integer range, and all of them contains two files, header and cpp file, and we will add a UI file also for all of them. And here, as you can see, we have three different plugin class or plugin file for each selector: v alpha range selector plugin, and also for float and integer range. And here we have a new class named vRangeSelector collection. Let's open it. It's a class inherited from QDesignerCustomWidgetCollectionInterface, and here we're going to return a list of QDesignerCustomWidgetInterface pointer to QDesignerCustomWidgetInterfaces. And here, if you pay attention, I just filled this list with the instances of all those three plugins, and then return it. So when QTcreator face these classes, it's just gonna call these methods and return all these widgets that I added or plugins that I added to this list, and then show them inside the Qt standard widget toolbox. Okay, first thing first, let's add all the UI file needed for these three widgets to their project, and then continue on the other stuff. For this purpose, I'm gonna close all these things, and I'm just to start from integer range selector. Here, I'm gonna add new Qt Designer Form class. Qt Designer Form, just Qt Designer Form, because already we have a H file and CPP file, and I just need the .ui file. So I'm gonna choose. I forgot. Let's see. Can I borrow the naming things? Yeah. And let's one more time add Qt Designer Form. Here a widget and .ui. This is the file that I needed to have for this new widget. Okay, and before you forgot anything, just rename the object name to the name of the project, vIntegerRangeSelector. Okay, do not forget this. And again, let's do the same for float. Let's copy the naming here and add another QDesigner form to this project this time. And I'm gonna paste it here, change it to vFloat range selector, and also change the name. And at last, I'm gonna add form to vAlpha. Let's grab the name, add new QDesigner form and a widget. So I'm going to change it to vAlpha range selector, and also change the name of the UI file. So this is it. We added all. Let's save all of them, and I'm gonna close. So, and also we need to do a couple of things inside the H file and also CPP file. Here we need to create an namespace and also a forward declaration for that specific class, and then create an instance of the UI in the class and initialize it inside the CPP file. So here we are going to create a namespace named UI, and I'm gonna create a forward declaration with this name. This is a class, a UI file, and here I'm gonna create an instance of vRangeSelector named UI. So this is the same as the QTcreator do for us if we choose QDesigner form class in the wizard. And here, after initializing the superclass, we're going to initialize the UI with the new instances from vRangeSelector. And also, I'm gonna include a file prefixed with UI underscore that is created by Qt compiler, and here I'm gonna call setup. UI dash greater than setup UI, and pass the current instance of the class to this method. So this is a let's compile the application, see what we have right now, and this error will be gone. So this is it, and also it says that QDesignerCustomWidgetInterface is deprecated, and we need to change it to something else. It's named inside the Qt UI plugin, QDesignerCustomWidgetInterface, and I will do it very soon. And also, let's create a destructor to create delete the UI field. So this is it. And let's do the same for the other ones. In other file, I'm gonna create namespace named UI. Inside it, I'm gonna create a forward declaration with this class name. And also, we need to create a private field member using UI scope operator. This one, and then named it to UI. Also, let's include UI underline vRangeSelector.h file. So here I'm gonna instantiate or create an instance for UI member. The fellow vRangeSelector, and finally I'm gonna call setup UI and pass current instance to this method. And I forgot to create the destructor. Let's create a structure and also delete UI in the structure. And after that, let's go to the last one, the alpha. Again, let's copy this one. Create a namespace, declare a namespace, forward declaration. Create a field for UI. And also create destructor and add the header file. Here we're going to instantiate UI member. Finally, call setup UI with the current instances. So this is it. Let's compile it one more time to see if there's any error, unwanted error. So it's okay, and just let's change QDesignerCustomInterface inside the header files, inside the plugins header file to Qt UI plugin. Okay, that's it. And I'm gonna copy this one and paste it in the other files also. Let's press warning. Now compile it one more time. So those warnings should be gone. And again, I'm not gonna cover this file because I just talked about this file in previous sessions in detail. And for those who are not really into creating custom widgets, I should say this is a metadata class. This will provide some information about the custom widget for QTcreator. So if you are not familiar with this file, go back to the other sessions in this playlist and then come back and continue on this one. Before adding this custom widgets to QTcreator, let's add a couple of items inside the UI files, and then we will complete UI files in future very soon. So let's start with this one. I'm gonna add a label here and spin box, and again a label. Oops, yeah, it's okay. So this is range. I'm gonna change it to range, or let's to be label. Label. This is a spin box, and this is a dash, and these two spin boxes. Oh. Let's change this one again. I'm gonna change the font. It's bold and it's 14, for example. Yeah, it's okay. And let's change the alignment to be at center. Align horizontal center and align vertical center. That's okay. And I'm gonna add them all to a horizontal layout. So this is it. And let's grab this toolbar and change their policy. I want to change it to minimum expanding. Okay. Now, if you expand the UI, you can see these two items will be expanded accordingly. And if you shrink it, then they'll shrink also. So this one is LBL caption. Oops. I want to change their name. LBL caption. SPN from SPN 2. That's okay for right now. And let's also decrease the amount of layout margins to 2, because when we add this one to UI at QTcreator, we also have margins there, and we can change the margin. Okay, and I think 2 is enough. So let's do the same for the other ones. For float range, again, I'm going to use a label. This time I'm going to add double spin box, and after that I'm going to copy this one again. So change it to label. Label. Okay, that's okay. And also let's check that one. I think I have some label. No, that one is okay. And this is changed to dash. Also change the font. It's bold, and it's also 14. And I want to change it to align to horizontally center. So add them all to a horizontal layout. Now let's change the margin to 2. Also, this one is label. I should not forget colon. Change this one to SPN from. SPN from. This one to SPN2. Oops, SPN2. And this one is LBL caption. So this is it, and let's see what we have for the third one. Here I'm gonna add a label. Let's copy this one from here. It's annoying to change the styles. And also here we need to add combo box. Okay, we need to select a range from some predefined items. Okay, inside the combo box, and most of the time we can set alphabetic things, for example, A to Z in each of them, or if you have another things in your mind, you can also apply it to this combo box. I will provide some properties for changing the data inside these two combo boxes. Okay, and this is label, and oh, I forgot to change Yeah, I forgot to change this one. Let's change the horizontal policy to minimum expanding. Yeah, that's okay. That's it. And again, for this one, oops, for this one, let's change the policy to minimum expanding. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. And I'm gonna change the margins to 2. Okay, that's okay. And then change this one to LBL caption. LBL, no, this was CMB 2. And this one is CMB 4. That's it. This is the UI for these 3 custom widgets. Now, let's see how these are look like when we add them to qtcreator environment. For this purpose, I'm gonna build the project. And if you go to the path here, there's also some settings inside the profile, and it says to install it inside the qtInstall plugin/designer, but this path is not correct. So what does it mean? If I open the output of the project, there's a SO file here, so we should copy this SO file to a place where you install the Qt and folder tools, qtcreator, lib, Qt, plugins, and designer. If you copy that SO file here, so QTcreator are able to load the custom widgets for you. Now, if I create another sample project to test this vRangeSelector, you can see all these custom widgets will be loaded inside the QTcreator. Let's see it. So I created a project named vRangeSelector demo, a simple empty project. Now let's go to the empty to main window, and here I'm gonna go to form editor, about QDesigner plugins, and run refresh. Something went wrong. It says it uses incompatible Qt library 6.0. Let's see what's happened inside the other parts. Okay. Yeah, I compiled it with inappropriate compiler. Now I'm gonna compile it one more time. Let's clean the application, clean the outputs, and run build one more time. We are waiting, so this is okay, and let's get back one more time here. Now I should change the path. Let's grab it one more time. And this one. And this is where the output will be created. Oops, what happened? Let's run the application. Not run, build the application, and waiting for the output. Yeah, something happened this time. And that's okay. Let's copy this old file and paste it inside the designer folder for inside the plugins one more time. And right now I'm gonna use this option. Okay, as you can see, right now we have 3 different other offering custom widgets in VRF Education widgets. This widget was created in previous session, and right now we have vInteger, and also we have vFloat and vAlpha range. So these are the things that I created right just now, and right now I'm going to change or add some functionalities to these custom widgets. And also, if you want to run the application, you definitely faced some challenges. It says there's no header file for vAlpha range selector. So we need to add SO file to this project, and also all those header files for those custom widgets inside this project. Let's see how it works. Okay, I'm gonna copy the output folder for this one, and the output. I just need to open the source folder. Okay, let's open the source folder. Yeah, that's it. And I'm going to create a new folder here named libs. And in that folder, I'm just going to copy this SO file alongside with those H files. So where are the H files? I need to open the other project. Let's open this one. I need to copy vRangeSelector H file, valpha, and vIntegerSelector, these H files. And after that, I'm going to create a bash file. So it's going to handle the copying SO file and also H files into these two folders, designer and also this libs folder. So I'm not going to copy them anymore. This is just for the first time, so you need to know what's going to happen. Now let's go back to QtCreator in the demo project. In the profile, I'm going to add a library. This is external library. Where's the path? I'm going to, let's see, oops, not, let's choose this path and get back here. So this is the SO file and also include file are located at the same folder. I don't need Windows and Mac options. Yeah, this is it. So let's run qmake. Where's qmake? Run qmake. And after that, I'm going to run the application. What's happened? Okay, this is it. Yeah, it works. Let's clean the output and run qmake. So alpha range. Yeah, this one is strange. Alpha. Let's see. Alpha range. Oh, I forgot to bring the correct file. I need alpha. Yeah, this one. Okay, this is it. And let's run the application. So everything is okay. And let's see what we have if I just add them to a layout. This one. So this is the layout, and they're just get under each other. And let's go and add some functionalities to these labels. I'm just going to start from the integer one. First of all, I need to provide a way to change the label caption and also the minimum and maximum for each spin boxes, and also a way to choose from and also two values, read and write them into the widgets. And also one other functionality that is very good, it's to use validation. What does it mean? If I just enable the validation, if you enter some invalid data, for example, from is greater than 2, so the color of these two items will be changed into red. And if you correct it, the red color will be removed. This is the thing that we are going to implement right now. So, as you might already know, if you want to provide some data for QtCreator property window, we need to define some property inside our custom widget class. First thing I need to do is to provide some values for minimum and maximum. Let's define two values, set underscore mean and underscore max, and also a value for from and a value for to. And the other thing is caption. And also let's it's QString. And also an option to enable or disable validation. This is it. And these are just some fields inside my class. So in order to let QtCreator work with these fields, we need to create property for them. To do that, we can use some utility or some boilerplate code that QtCreator provides for us. If you press Alt-Enter on each field, it will show you some options: create property and missing members, or just you can create setter or getter and setter or getter to each other. But I want to use this one, create QAnnual property and missing members. No, this one. Q. Yeah, that's okay. So here for me, I have two functions, getter function and setter function. And also I have a property here. It says this property name, it is mean. If you want to read the value, use the mean function. For setting value in qtcreator property window, you set mean. And if anything changed, you can just emit a signal named mean changed. So the signal is defined here. So I'm gonna just change this one to minimum. Minimum. That's it. And also, when we run the set mean, I'm going to use these values for SPM from and also SPM2 dot set minimum to underline mean. Also, name is also correct. This is SPM, not a sum. SPM2. So whenever we change the minimum value inside the property window, the minimum value for SPM from and SPM2 will be changed accordingly. Okay, let's do the same for what? For the maximum. And I want to do it for from and to. From, to, and also for caption, and also for validation. These are all the things that we need. So I added some of them in order to be able to use these tools inside QTcreator. For from and to, we don't need to create some real values because I'm just going to return the SPM from and SPM2 values. So I'm going to delete these two. And for maximum, let's do setting maximum for those two SPMs. Set maximum. And also here for set maximum and pass underline max. Underline max. For from, I'm going to use SPM UI SPM from dot value. That's it. And also here I'm just going to get rid of these checkings and set the value directly to SPM from. Set value to new from. This is it. And also you can get rid of these emit functions, but I just let them be here. For to again, I'm gonna return UI.SPM2.value, and here I'm gonna delete these lines and just set the value to SPM2 directly. Okay, new2. And for caption, yeah, I'm gonna just return LBL caption.text. And also for this part, I'm gonna just set the value directly to caption label. Set text to new caption. But for validation, I'm just gonna let the things as it is. I created a field and I need to save it internally. So this one is, yeah, I'm gonna just release, oops. I'm just gonna delete these aliasing things because I'm going to return a value from an object. So, and this is iLeo application. It's using for protecting your eyes from being stare at monitor for a long time. It's very useful. But for right now, I'm gonna disable it. I always forgot to disable it when I start recording video. And then let's go and do a couple of initialization for some values here. I'm gonna choose set a min function and pass 0 to it. So set maximum and pass 99 by default for that one. And let's see what we have. From and to also set to 0. So everything is okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna save it. And but set validation also to true. And I'm gonna add validation things very soon. So I created I created a bash file. So when I run this one, all the files copy to the destination in the project, and also in qtcreator designer folder, and the qtcreator will be run with the vRangeSelector demo project. So I'm gonna just terminate current run and then run this sh file or bash file one more time. So this is it, vRangeSelector demo, and I'm gonna delete all we have the form, and let's add vRangeSelector one more time. So here we have a couple of things. Everything is okay, but minimum and maximum are not. They are not correct, and also we should change the max to maximum. So let's see. I'm gonna change this one to 0, for example, and for maximum I'm gonna choose 100. From equals to 10, yeah, spin from change, and also this one I'm going to change it to 99, and for label I'm going to choose sample, and also validation here is set to true. Okay, let's run the application, see does the boundary correct or not. Okay, yeah, the boundary is okay, and this one I also want to set to 1. Yeah, everything is okay and correct. Let's see why at the beginning, when I drag and drop one instance on the form, these are not correct. Let's see what we have here. Maybe I forgot to build it. Let's build it and terminate it and run it one more time. Okay. And another one. Yeah, this time is okay. I forgot to build, and yeah, everything is okay, and you can also change the values in property window. Okay, let's go and change this one to maximum. Okay, this one is okay, and also check the validation. So after setting values inside, I'm gonna first create a private function, private, and void validate. And in validate, I'm going to check if underline validation or set a validation. If validation equals to true, I want to do some validation things, and I should call it when to, and also from setter function call. So I'm gonna call this one validate, and also I'm gonna call validation or validate method inside the set2, and let's connect the value, change the signal from these two spin blocks to validate also. So I'm gonna connect from UI.spn from, and the signal is Q spin box. Value changed to this, and v integer selector dot validate, or not validate, yeah. And let's also copy this one and change it to SPN2. So every time the value change, I'm going to call this validate method, and inside it, if the validation is enabled, I'm going to do a couple of type value checking. But before that, let's get here and set for spin box, change style sheet for Q spin box. If you have a property name valid and it's equal to 0, okay, I'm gonna apply a background color, or change the background color to some red. Is this red? Yeah, okay. So what does it mean? Okay, it means that if I have a property, custom property inside spin box, and set the name to is valid and change the value to 0, okay, you can see the widget background changed to right. Okay, and if I just removed it or set it with one value rather than 0, the background will be removed. So here I'm gonna check if from, call the from function, is greater than 2. This is 2 function, so it means that we need to change the background. So I'm gonna create a variable here is valid equal to 1. But in this scenario, if from is greater than 2, I'm going to change the is valid to 0. 0. And after that, I'm going to set the property inside for those spin boxes. So ui.spinbox, spin from dot set property is valid equal to is valid. Okay. And let's duplicate it. This time I'm going to set it for spn2. And after that, we're going to polish these values one more time using a style function. And let's add also qstyle polish method and pass ui.spn from to this method and also spn2. This will change the background, and I don't know why when we are not inside the constructor and we want to change the background using CSS or QSS. Using this approach, we need to polish those widgets one more time. Let's run the build the application. Okay, everything's okay. Terminate the command, and I'm gonna run the vRangeSelector demo one more time. So this is it. Let's delete this one and add it one more time. Everything is okay, validation is enabled, and I want to change from to 10. So you can see, because it's greater than 2, the background changed to red, and if I set 20 for 2, then it gets back to original or not. So it's in some valid state. So I'm going to change it one more time to 0, and if I just uncheck the validation, I expected this color to be same as the original one, but it's not working. Let's see what we should do here. What we should do here. When the validation unchecked, I can change the validation values here directly. So what does it mean? It means I can copy this line here and say, okay, you are if you are not in check validation mode, just set 1 as the value for is valid property. But it's not a good way, because when we just check the validation inside the property window, we need to validate it at that moment. Okay, so I think it's better to do a couple of refactoring things. After validation checkbox change, state change, I'm gonna call the validate method one more time. And here I should decide if I'm not in the validation mode, something like this, in the else part, in the else department. Let's see what we should do here to be in optimum situation. At first, I can just put it outside of the if statement, and here, after the if statement, I'm gonna say it doesn't matter if you're not in the validation mode or not, just try to set the validation. It's maybe 1 or 0 to those spin boxes, and then call polish for that method. This works, but it has one drawback. Let's see, does it really work or not, and then come back here and do some refactoring things. Terminate the terminal and run one more time. So here in the main window, let's delete this one and edit one more time. I'm gonna change it to 10. Yeah, the background changed. I'm going to uncheck the validation. So everything is okay. And I'm gonna check it one more time. Yeah, that's okay. But every time I changed it, for example, I'm gonna assign it to 20. And if I assign it to 11, 12, 13, 14, the thing is, this part of code will always run, and it might have some drawbacks on your final project. So we should do it in a way that if you are not in the checking mode and we are also in valid state, do not set the values inside these spin boxes. Let's see how we can do this. So I'm going to do this validation check in a way like this. I'm going to add a method here, a parameter in this method set bool is force. Is force, and by default it has false value. Okay. And here I'm going to pass true, and I'm going to force the validation to be applied when a validate count, and it's in set validation. Okay. So here I'm going to change it. If I'm in validation mode or is force is true, you should do something. And here I'm going to cut these lines and put it inside the validation part. And also I'm going to move is valid parameter inside the if. So if I'm not in validation mode or is force is not true, it means that I'm in unchecked mode. Nothing gonna happen. And here, after the type validation checking is set, I'm gonna say if is force and is force and we are not in validation mode, just assign 1 to is valid. Okay, the color should be removed, and otherwise we should change for from and to and then set the property accordingly. So let's compile it and see does it work correctly or not. So I'm going to terminate it and run it one more time. So everything is okay, and I'm gonna add this one. So I'm gonna add 10 as the from, and if I just uncheck the validation, back color just removed, and if I set it one more time, yeah, everything is okay. So I'm gonna uncheck it and set the 20 to true value and run check validation one more time. Yeah, it's okay because we are not going to. So we are going to check the values, but this time from is less than 2. And let's run the application and see it at runtime. Is it working or not? So I'm gonna change the value to 21. Okay, the validation is also okay. And if I change it to 21, everything is just okay. So this is the whole thing that we need to have for this custom widgets. And also, I'm going to add these logics also to vFloat and also the alpha range selectors. And because the video is going to be lengthy, I'm just going to pause it. And after adding same functionalities to those fields, I'm going back and see how we can create some custom context menu for the widget. So when we right-click on the widget in QTcreator, we are able to see some options here. We will check it very soon. Okay, I add the functionalities to vFloat and vAlpha range selector. Let's see what we have. And also for integer range selector, I added another functionality here, another properties, that it says what type of button you need for those spin boxes. This is the same that we have for spin box, but when we change it, the new value will apply to both from and to, and also you can hide those buttons. And also you can add all other options related to spin box to these new custom widgets. It's based on your decision and based on your business logics. For float, we have the same properties, and also I added another field here, the number of precision or number of decimal points that you can have with these values. And the other things are the same as we did for vInteger float box. And for alpha range, we have two combo boxes filled with some predefined text here. I just filled them with, oh, I forgot to add Z. I filled them with the characters, alphabetic characters, and also you can fill it with anything that you want, and anything that somehow resemble a range, okay? And to change them, you can just change the index for from or to. And also we have validation here. If the index for from is greater than 2 index, so the background changed to red. And if I unchecked it, so we don't do any validation things on this custom widgets. And also we can change this one. So it's now greater than the from, so we don't need to change the background. And if you run the application, you can choose one option from the list of items inside the combo box. And also you can provide some other things here. For example, imagine I want to select age ranges, so I can remove all of them. Oh, I forgot, let's remove all of them. And okay, here I'm going to set from 0, and then after that 10, 20, 15, for example. And if I run the application, you can change the age range from, for example, 10 to 20. This is the range that is valid for some business in my application. This is it. So this is the basic functionalities I need for these 3 custom widgets. Now let's see how we can add a context menu. The first thing I want to do for context menu is resetting everything to default. For example, I changed the item here, I changed the indexes, I changed the values and change the label, anything. I want to reset them without need to come here and reset all those items. Okay, I'm just want to right click on the widget and add some Q actions. First one is reset widgets. Let's see how we can do this. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, task menu is some sort of extension things for our widget. So we need to create a class for task menu and inherit from QDesigner task menu extension. Let's do it together, and we need to do a couple of other things, and we're going to do that step by step. First of all, I'm going to create a folder here. Create new folder. Let's change its name to extensions. So I don't want to have all the classes for these plugins at one place. I want to categorize them and create one structure for my project. Here, I'm going to add a class. So then I'm going to do it for integer, vInteger range selector. The name is vInteger range selector task menu. So I want this one to inherit from, not this one. Let's change the name here. I want to inherit from QDesigner task menu extension. Okay, I don't know why we have to. And also I want to have Q_object. And this is not the thing that we need. Okay, let's go to the next part and here. And also I want to inherit from QObject. I forgot to. Object. So this is it. And we need to call QInterface micro and pass this class to that micro. QInterface says and pass QDesigner task menu extension to this interface. So this is it. And in the constructor, I need to receive one instances of the widget that I'm going to show task menu for that. So here I'm going to, let's at first include, I forgot to, let's do a little file cleaning. I forgot to add it to the extension folder. vInteger, where is it? vInteger task menu. Okay, I'm going to move them to the extension folder, move here, and let's go back. Okay, close all. In the vRangeSelector, I'm going to change this one to extensions slash, I'll support this one, extensions slash, and let's run qmake one more time. Extensions. So this is it. The task menu extension goes to extension folder. So I was supposed to add something here that was a reference to the integer. Let's see, the integer range selector, the class, the widget class itself. And I'm going to, let's see, oops. And here I'm going to declare a vInteger selector, named it widget, and also I'm gonna receive a parent qObject asterisk parents, and it's equal to null ptr. The default value is null ptr for this specific parameter, and I'm gonna apply the function signature. And before we forgot it, I'm gonna create a private field here, private vInteger range selector. It's pointed to widget. So that's it. And I need to do a couple of other things. First of all, I just want to press Alt-Enter on this class. Insert virtual functions. We have two functions, task actions and preferred edit actions. I'm going to implement these two functions. The first one, task actions, said that give me a list of Q actions that you want to show when we do right click on the widget inside the QTcreator. And this one is the preferred edit action. It means that what you want to do if I press double click on the custom widgets. So for line edit, we can enter something inside the line edit. For label, we can modify or edit the label content. But for but for something else like spin box, by double clicking, we are able to change the name. So this is the way that we can define it. And now I'm going to create a Q action. I'm gonna call it reset action. Right now we just have one action, and that is the preferred actions. And in future I'm going to add another actions also to this list. Here let's add implementation for these two here. Here I'm going to return underline reset action. And also I want to create another list here and set underline actions list. So in the constructor, I'm going to initialize the action. At first, I'm going to call qObject the parent, and then let's assign widget to underline widget, and also I'm gonna create an instance of QAction and assign it to reset action, new QAction, and the name is reset widget, and I must pass this as the parent for this one, new QAction. So everything is just okay. I think I added QObject here. Yeah, maybe after I changed the folder, I forgot to save the changes. So this is it. And here I'm going to say actions list. Okay, I'm just gonna add reset action to this list. And here I'm going to return underline actions list. And also I need to add connect underline reset actions and reset action create. Specify the signal that we are looking for. It's triggered, and then assign it to a slot inside this class. Underline ampersand the integer task menu reset action select or triggered. And let's create slot section, public slots. So right now I'm just going to create something to the console. Reset select. So that's it, and let's see what we need to do. I forgot to also QDesignerCustomWidgetInterface, and we need to pass this one here. So that is it, and it seems that everything is just fine, but we need to do another things. What we need to do is, this is the extension menu class, and we need to create another class that inherits from QExtension factory. And using this is somehow based on the factory pattern somehow, and we create the extension for that specific widget and return it to qtcreator. For this purpose, I'm going to create another class here. The name is vInteger range selector task menu factory, and it should be inherited from QExtension factory. Let's also add QExtension factory, also add the header file here, and we need to use QAndObject micro. And in the public section, I'm gonna create the constructor, the integer task menu factory, and I'm gonna receive an instance of QExtension manager, and this will be provided for us from the plugin class in the initialize method that we talked about in previous sessions. We're going to go there and pass this option to this class, and we will do it very soon. And also, I need to insert a method named let's see, create extension. This is the way that we create task menu and pass it to the qtcreator, so it's able to add it to the extension to the context menu for the custom widgets. Now let's see what we should have here. Yeah, we just need to call the parent QExtension factory and pass the parent. That's enough for this part. And here we need to do some type checking. If underline IID not equal to Q underline type ID. Okay, So we need to pass an interface name. The interface name is the same as we created here. We inherit from that QDesigner task menu extension. If it's something not equal to this one, just return null PTR. Okay, but if you're able to create vRangeSelector, the custom widget class itself, I'm gonna create it. I'm gonna cast the object, the past object to this one. Q object cast to vRangeSelector pointer to this class. If you're able to cast the object to this class, just return a new instances of vRangeSelector task menu with this parameter, with the W, the casted object, and also the parent. Okay. And that's it. Let's compile and see the output if there's any error or not. So everything is just okay, and let's see what we should do in the plugin class itself. We should go to vRangeSelector, and we have a method here. Say the name was initialized, and we were supposed to talk about it in future, and this time is that future that we are in. So here I'm gonna create qExtension manager equal to core. Let's uncomment this name. Core dot get extension manager. Maybe I should add the header file. Yeah. Extension manager. So this is the extension manager that I've talked about, and here I'm gonna say manager dot register manager something went wrong here. Manager dot register extensions. As I said, task menu is just the type of extensions, so we need to pass it as a parameter. New vInteger selector task menu factory vInteger task menu vInteger task menu factory, and pass the manager as the first parameter, and also for the second one, for the second parameter, we need to pass q underline type ID. Let's see what we have. Let's also include this one, and okay, q underline type ID, and for the interface we need to use QDesigner. Let's copy it from the other files. It's a little bit hard to type it. QDesigner task menu extension. So that's it. It's going to create the manager and also register the new task menu factory for us. And the output for the task menu factory in the create extension method is just the context menu. So after that, the qtcreator will be able to add those actions that we defined in the vRangeSelector task menu class to the context menu of itself. So let's run the bash file. see if anything or any change applied to the output or not. We're waiting. Let's open the main window one more time and delete all the things here and just drag and drop an integer custom widget here. And if I right click, we can see reset widget will be in the context menu. So if I clicked it, let's see, yeah, reset click printed on the console output. So everything is just fine. And I need to add a couple of things in the reset widget triggered slot to be able to reset the widget states. Let's see how we can do this. For this purpose, let's get back to the integer rangeSelector. In the constructor, we did a couple of initialization things. So I want to cut them, and let's see, can I create, yeah, extract a method. I just want to create a method named reset, which reset, just reset, and it's a public method. So in reset, I just let's cut it also and move it to the end of the file. So I just set the minimum and maximum validation set to true. The caption, let's set caption to label and set from to 0, set to 0 to 0, and to be able to other things, minimum, maximum from to caption, validate, and also set the validation to true. Set validation to true. This is the values that I need to have when a widget gets reset. Okay, and let's get back to task menu. Here, instead of writing something to console, I'm just gonna call underline widget dot reset. I'm just gonna call this method. Let's see how QtCreator handled this situation. I compile this library. Okay, everything is okay. I'm gonna stop this one and run it one more time. Okay, let's clear this field and this widget, and also add another one. So I'm gonna change this one to 10, minimum 10. The value equals to, for example, 20. This one is 25. Label is sample. So I changed a lot of things, and let's click reset widget. So everything just get back to its state, but you can see these values are not changed in the property window. And if I run the application, things are in the default state. So here I need to do something. When I click reset, this property window also changed. Let's do this in another way. I just want to go to task menu. Here, no, not task menu. In the widget selector CPP. Let's write them through the property mechanism. What does it mean? I want to set property for minimum to, for example, 0, and also do the same for maximum. And I'm just gonna comment these two. Let's compile them one more time and stop the demo environment and run it one more time. Okay, and let's delete this item, add another instance. Let's change the minimum to 10, maximum to, maybe I forgot to set it through, yeah, maximum, okay, nothing important, maximum to 1000, from to 20, 0, 2 to 30, and label to sample. This is what we did, and I'm just gonna reset the widget. Okay, everything reset, but these values are not changed. Okay, this is because I'm just trying to call directly reset widget on the widget instance. In order to apply things, I think, correctly, we need to do another thing. What does it have? What does it looks like? To do that, I need to let's change it back to the default. Okay, I just prefer to have a reset method inside my classes, and I'm just go to task manager CPP. Here, instead of calling the reset method directly, we need to do another thing. There's a class inside Qt named QDesignerFormWindowInterface. Using this interface class, we can access to the object or the widgets and change their values using the property mechanism. Let's see how it works. I'm just gonna create an instances of something named QDesignerFormWindowInterface and initialize it with the widget inside this task menu. Okay, let's add header file QDesigner form window interface, QDesigner form window interface, and here I'm just gonna say, okay, try to create an instance of form window. It's equal to QDesigner form. Let's type it. QDesigner form window interface, and then call a method. It says find form window, and pass the widget to this form, and it will create an instances of that form window for us. So we can then, through a mechanism named cursor, oops, I know, get activated one more time. Let's deactivate it. And here I'm just able to call form window dot cursor dot set. Oh, and also we need to include QDesigner form window cursor interface. And after that, using the cursor method, I'm able to call set property, and then the property name minimum, and the value equals to 0, for example. And let's duplicate it and set the value for maximum. And it's equal to, for example, 99. And that's it for now. Let's see what happened if I press reset or I click reset menu in qtcreator. Okay, that's it, and I'm gonna push another item under form. Change minimum to, for example, 100, the maximum to 1000, and also I think we should add some logic here. If the minimum is larger or greater than maximum, we should ignore the value set. 1000, the from to 120, 130, and this one changed to sample. So that's it. So let's click reset window. As you can see, things are changed and also applied to the property window. And these values are changed because these are set to the maximum number that we already have. So let's add all those properties to this part. 89, and duplicate the call of time. For from, it's equal to 0 to it's equal to 0. Caption, it's equal to label, and label, what should be validation, also set to true. And for button style, is that true? Integer. Yeah, it's button symbols. Button symbols. It's equal to qabstract spinbox. Let's add the include file. Abstract spinbox. We can use plus minus not down or arrow. Let's see what we have. Up, down arrows. Up, down arrows, and that's it. I just compiled it and everything is just fine. Terminate QTcreator, run it one more time, and let's see if all the reset things works or not. Okay, let's change it to 100, this one to 1000. I forgot to modify this part. And also from equal to 120, 130, label change to sample, validation false, and let's change it to 110. So if validation enable, this background changed to red, and I just change it to no button. And I'm going to change or select reset widget. Okay, everything just is the same as we just created the widget, and that's it. So I'm gonna add these functionalities or reset option to the other plain selectors, and also we can have let's change it one more time. For example, I want from to be 10, and if I just double click it, you can see the reset widget action triggered because I set it as the preferred action. For preferred action, I'm just gonna show you how we can create a dialog and do a couple of these initialization things inside that dialog. Let's see how it works. All right, I think this session is getting too long, and let's cut it right now. And for next session, I'm just gonna apply the reset widget things to these two selectors also, and I'm gonna show you how we can show or express a dialog and do a couple of things related to this custom widget inside the dialog. Just like we have, for example, with the table widgets. Here we can double click it, and a window will be appeared, so we can change something inside this window. Let's see how we can do this in the next session. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the content. It's a little bit lengthy video, and I will be with you in next session with new materials. Till next session, goodbye.